My name is Will, and I'm with the Love Life Group. The Love Life Group is the life insurance agency. The life insurance policies that we offer are within our agency. So I always say that the Love Life Group is like a supermarket, and the policy is like the food inside of a supermarket. In order to write a policy for people, you have to talk to a licensed life insurance agent. And a licensed life insurance agent can offer you the policy, because life insurance companies don't usually like to get involved in peddling policies. They usually hire agents, or they work with agents that help them get the word out about their policy. So the Love Life Group is the agency that helps the life insurance companies get the word out about their policies. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, I guess, some things that people don't know when it comes to life insurance. And a lot of people that we come in contact with, they don't have life insurance. They don't have it at all. They don't have anything to take care of out-of-pocket funeral expenses at all. So I wanted to take this time to kind of shed some light on, some of the secret things that either happen with life insurance companies, or either happens when someone dies, maybe with the funeral home or something like that, so that you understand the importance of why it's a good idea to have something in place, because something is better than nothing, right? So I'm going to start here. A lot of times I talk to people, then they say, I should be able to get $100,000 of coverage. I should be able to get X, Y, Z, ABC because of something they saw on TV, or there's something that a friend or family member told them. And here's the problem with that. Life insurance companies don't care what you think you should get. Life insurance companies don't care what you think you deserve. They don't care who you pray to on Sunday. They don't care that you're a good person. They don't care that you're a mom, a dad, a grandmother, they don't care about any of that. What they care about is four things. They care about your age. They care about your gender. They care about your health, and they care about risk. But the main thing that they care about is risk. What is it going to cost them to cover you if you die? That's what they care about. And they're looking for the least amount of risk that they can actually afford to take care of. So they don't care about who you worship. They don't care about what church you go to. They don't care about the things that you care about or you think they should care about. But I've run into a lot of people that have this misconception that that is what's important. What they care about is their bottom line. And I say that because it's a business. It's a business, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I mean, you paid for car insurance all this time. You paid for health insurance all this time. And even if you didn't use it, you paid for it. But you're going to use life insurance. Guaranteed 100%. Everybody under the sound of my voice is going to use life insurance. Another thing I want to go over is term versus whole life. Term versus whole life. So a lot of times people don't understand the difference between the two. And I want to make sure you understand the difference between the two. Term life insurance, when you hear that, I want you to think of terminating life insurance. I don't know if y'all remember, a long time ago, there was a movie out called The Terminator. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he was a machine sent from the future to destroy a person from the future. He was to destroy a person in the past. He was called the Terminator. Well, that's what I look at as, when you think of term life insurance policies, I want you to think of terminating life insurance policies. If you don't die before the policy expires, all the money that you paid into it is gone. It's a terminating policy. It has an expiration date. The term policy, you usually see a large amount of coverage for a small monthly fee. So when you're watching TV, you're watching Gunsmoke, Family Feud, The Gong Show. I'm kidding. If y'all know what The Gong Show is. You're watching that on TV, and the commercial comes on and says $100,000 for $20 a month. That's a term policy. Term policies are betting on you living, and you are betting on you dying. So term policies are betting on you living, and you are betting on you dying. So in that bet, you lose, right? You lose in that bet. The other thing about term policies that they don't tell you is that term policies only pay out 2% of the time. So let's say you have 100 people who have a term policy. Only 2 of those policies would actually ever pay out. Why? Because the 98 of those people, their policies would either expire because they outlive the policy, or it gets too expensive because the longer you have a term policy, the more you pay for a term policy because the price goes up. Just before it cancels, it starts creeping up. And if you decide to keep that term policy, you're usually paying 3 to 5 times more, sometimes 10 times more than you were paying when it started. So it was a good idea when it started because you said, hey, it's only $20. By the time that time frame, 10 years goes by, that policy could be $120 for the same amount of coverage. So a term policy is a terminating policy. It's a large amount of coverage for a small monthly fee. It only pays out 2% of the time. Okay. The other policy is a whole life policy. Whole life is the complete opposite. Whole life is a smaller amount of coverage for an affordable monthly fee. Because if it wasn't affordable, nobody would ever get a whole life policy. They go out of business. Whole life policies are permanent. They don't go up. They don't go down. They stay in place, right? Whatever you started with is what you end with. Whatever you started paying is what you end with paying. They pay out and they cover you for your whole life. They also build cash value. Cash value is basically like a savings account attached to your life insurance policy. It's money that builds alongside of your policy that you can use while you're alive. It's cash value. You can use it while you're alive. There's a lot of times why people get a whole life policy because they like that cash value. Even though it's a small amount of coverage for an affordable monthly fee, but it's permanent. It will be there when you need it the most. When you need it the most. How many people know that you are going to die? We're all going to die. We're going to expire. However you want to put it. We're going to graduate. However you want to put it. We're all going to die. And when that does happen, do you want your family to get a check or a bill? With a permanent whole life policy, your family can get a check. All right. That's the key between the difference between a term life insurance policy and a whole life policy. Okay. So let me talk to you. So now that we got down the difference between term and whole life, let's and that life insurance companies don't care who you pray to or what you believe. They don't care if you believe that you should get $100,000 because you're a good person. They don't care, right? So we know that now. Let's talk about these sneaky little things that funeral homes are doing now when people die. So there's a lot of sneaky things, but there's 2 things in particular. First and foremost, every funeral home, every life insurance company needs a death certificate before they pay out. There's no ifs, ands, buts around it. There's no supposes. Every life insurance company needs a death certificate before they pay out. I don't care what your agent told you when you got life insurance. The life insurance company is going to pay out in 24 hours. Ain't going to happen. Once the life insurance company gets a death certificate, it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks to pay out. By law, they can take up to 6 months. 4 to 6 weeks. By law, they can take up to 6 months. Now, you may say, that didn't happen to my grandpa. That didn't happen to my auntie. That didn't happen to my mom. And I'm going to tell you why that didn't happen to them and why and what actually did happen. So when someone dies, they call the funeral home. Family calls the funeral home, say, my father, my sister, my cousin, they died. Funeral home tells you to come on in. They ask you, do you have life insurance? Now, a lot of you are going to say, I don't take my life insurance policy to the funeral home. Great. That's a good idea. Don't do that. But here's the deal. This is where they get you, especially now and after COVID. Funeral homes are now saying, hey, in order for us to get you the death certificate, because you need a death certificate for the life insurance company to pay out, we're going to need a down payment. We need a down payment. You may say this didn't happen to you. Hold on. I'm going to tell you what did happen to you. They say we need a down payment. So we need you to pay something for us to give you the death certificate. Now, it is not illegal, but it is unethical. Again, you may be saying this never happened to me. That's okay. Hold on. I'll tell you what probably did happen to you. It's not illegal, but it is unethical. So they hold the death certificate until they get some money. The second thing they're going to do is they're saying, if you have life insurance, why don't you sign the policy over to us? When you sign the policy over to them, they know how much coverage you have. What do you think is going to happen when they know how much coverage you have? Whatever, you got 8,000, you're going to go magically cost 8,000. You got 15,000, your funeral's going to magically cost 15,000. Here's the thing they don't tell you. They also assign you a assignment fee or a transfer fee. When you sign the policy over to them, they give you a assignment fee or they charge you a transfer fee just for a signature. Now, that transfer fee can be anywhere from 10% to 25%, and they hide it in the price of the funeral. They don't tell you they charge you a transfer fee. They don't tell you they charge you an assignment fee. Now, not all funeral homes are bad, but there are some bad funeral homes out there. Be honest with you. So when they charge you the assignment fee, now whatever's left over after they get their fee for you signing a piece of paper, that's how much they're going to use for your funeral. And a lot of times people wind up coming out of pocket. So there's two problems there. Problem number one, that is sad. That is, Cheryl, you're absolutely right. So problem number one, they hold the death certificate until they get some money. Problem number two, they tell you to sign the policy over to them. Now they know how much money you have, and they charge you a fee for signing that over. There's a problem with that. And that's a sneaky little trick that's happening. So here's what we do different. I told you the problems. Let's talk about solutions. So first and foremost, what we do is we offer a way for your family to get your money in 24 hours or less, for real. We work with an organization. I call it the Funeral Fund Plan. That organization makes sure that when you die, the funeral home, one, never knows how much money you have. Two, they never see your policy. And three, your policy pays out in 24 hours without a death certificate or less, 24 hours or less without a death certificate. Our funeral fund plan pays the funeral. Your family has the money when they need it. They have it when they need it. Okay. So we're completely different. We do it completely different. We make sure your family has the money so they don't have to show it to the funeral home in 24 hours or less. We also cover a lot of things. We cover heart, stroke, cancer, liver disease, lung disease, Alzheimer's, amputation, kidney disease, drug, alcohol, COPD, and in some states, HIV, AIDS. All right. You probably saw a video like that. So basically, if you're looking at this, it doesn't matter what conditions you have. We can probably cover you. Where a lot of companies would tell you no, we're going to tell you yes. Now, if you have one of those conditions, yes, it's a possibility that what you're hoping to get is going to cost a little bit more. Yep. But here's the deal. If our funeral fund plan has something to work with, it's better than having nothing to work with. So I don't care what your medical condition is. If you schedule an appointment with me and show up, we're going to make sure, me or one of our agents, we're going to make sure that you get coverage that you can afford, and coverage that is beneficial to you and your family. So we're going to make sure you have access to the funeral fund plan so your family doesn't have to show the funeral home your life insurance policy. They're going to have access to the funeral fund plan so your policy pays out in 24 hours or less, and that you are taken care of even if you have a medical condition that is considered uninsurable. So the other thing that we offer is 24-hour payout. Like I said to you, no death certificate needed. And they do something called negotiating or price shopping. So when you die, they're going to price shop if you want them to. They're going to price shop for your funeral. Now, I always find it interesting when I say to people, would you like them to price shop for your funeral? And they say, no. It's very rare. I say, so when your family comes to taking care of your funeral, do you want them to pay more money or less money? They say less money. I say, well, why would you have a problem with somebody price shopping for your funeral when you die? So let's say how it goes. When someone dies, the first call they should make is to our funeral fund plan. Never call the funeral home first. Never, ever call the funeral home first. Never call the funeral home first. Call our funeral fund plan. They are going to then make sure your policy pays out in 24 hours or less. And they're going to do price shopping. They're going to contact the funeral home, the cemetery, the crematorium, the military. They call it price shopping. I call it negotiating. I had a client who the funeral home, during the height of COVID, the funeral home wanted $12,000 for her funeral. Our funeral fund plan contacted the funeral home after they finished price shopping, and they said, we know that such and such Walker and Jenkins down the street, they're going to charge her a lot less. They're going to charge $6,000 for the funeral, and will you match their price? Guess what they said? When another funeral home was going to charge less than they were charging, what do you think they said? I'm going to tell you. They said, absolutely, we'll lower our price. The funeral fund plan made sure that that family didn't overpay for that funeral. They negotiated that price down so that instead of they paying $12,000 for the funeral, they wound up paying $6,500. That's what our funeral fund plan does. That's what it does. Pays out in 24 hours. The funeral home never needs to see the policy. There's no death certificate needed, and they negotiate the price of the funeral. They do all of that for you just with our plan that you will have that comes with our policy. When I say come with, it's just like when you buy a car, it comes with a steering wheel. They don't charge you extra for a steering wheel. These things come with it. The funeral fund plan comes with the policy. Number two is you're going to get accidental death coverage. Comes with the policy. Just like a car comes with a steering wheel, they don't charge you extra for the steering wheel. It comes with the policy. Accidental death. If you die by accident, $40,000 or more come with the policy. They're going to pay out. Accident is anything other than natural causes. Plane, train, automobile, act of war, terrorism, anything other than natural causes. Murder, they're going to pay $40,000 on top of your policy. If you die outside of your home state, they're going to pay up to $2,000 to bring your body back home. So you die in another state, they're going to pay $2,000. Most of the people here are from New Jersey, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland. If you die outside of those states, 200 miles or more, they're going to pay out $2,000 on top of your policy. Number 3, if you get dismembered means you lose a body part. You lose an arm, a leg, a foot, an eye, but you don't die. You lose a body part, but you don't die in an accident. They're going to pay $5,000 or $10,000 directly to you to get you need a wheelchair, you can get a fast wheelchair. If you need a prosthetic, you can get a super good prosthetic. Number 5, if you qualify, you can get terminal illness coverage. Terminal illness means if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness, the doctor says you're not going to live long. They're going to allow for you to get 50% of your policy up front while you're alive. You can use it for treatment. You can use it for bills. You can use it for a vacation. They don't care what you use it for. And then when you die, the other 50% is going to pay out. So number 1 is the funeral fund plan. That's going to make sure your policy pays out in 24 hours or less without a death certificate. Number 2 is accidental death, $40,000. Number 3 is transport. If you die outside of your home state, they're going to make sure your body gets home. Spend up to $2,000 or less, or $2,000 or less. Number 4, dismemberment. If you get dismembered, they're going to and you live, they're going to pay out $5,000 or $10,000. And number 5, if you qualify, this is a special part, you have to qualify for it, for terminal illness. If you get diagnosed with a terminal illness, they're going to make sure they pay out 50% to you up front if you get diagnosed terminally ill, and 50% pays out at the time of your death. All right. That's our little plan, giving you pretty much everything. If you have a heart attack, stroke, cancer, liver disease, lung disease, Alzheimer's, amputation, kidney disease, drug, alcohol abuse, COPD, and in some state, HIV and AIDS, we can cover you. We can cover you when most people will not cover you. I did this because I wanted people to see I'm a real person. I've been doing this for 12 years. I've been working at this for 12 years, helping people find affordable solutions to their final expenses. If you go to our channel and go through some of our videos, there's some great information in our videos. Most of them are my big head, but the information is good. Don't judge me. Don't judge the messenger. Judge the information. I don't tell people to trust me. I tell people to test me, because we're going to help as many people as we possibly can get coverage who may think they can't get coverage, who may not understand how coverage works, help you get the coverage that you deserve, not the ones that you wish for, but the coverage that you deserve to get based off of what you qualify for. That's the main thing. You can qualify for this coverage, and we make sure you get it. And we don't want to sell you a pie in the sky. Does anybody have? We talked about everything that we do. We talked about how you can get covered. You get the coverage that you get based off your age, your gender, your health, and the risk. We talked about the difference between term and whole life. We talked about the sneaky little secrets, the sneaky little things that funeral homes are doing right now that are hurting people. Not all funeral homes are bad, but there are some bad funeral homes. And what we do, we make sure that your policy pays out in 24 hours or less. The funeral home does not know if you have a policy. It doesn't matter. We make sure that your policy pays out in 24 hours or less. If you get a death certificate, the death certificate is going to take 4 to 6 weeks, 2 to 6 weeks. By law, they can take up to 6 months. There's no life insurance company in the world that's going to pay out in 24 hours. It is not going to happen. It is not. It doesn't happen. A lot of people say, well, my life insurance company paid out in about a week. That's not 24 hours. A week is not 24 hours. 3 days is not 24 hours. 2 days is not 24 hours. 24 hours or less is what's going to happen when you have a policy with us. All right. I don't see any questions here, but again, my name is Will with the Love Life Group. You can go through our channel here, get some more information about what it is that we do. All right. That's all I got today, guys. And when I say guys, I mean ladies too. All right, that's all I got. And I look forward to helping you all and hearing from you all in the very, very near future. Take care. God bless. And again, my name is Will with the Love Life Group. The Love Life Group is the agency. So we are like the supermarket and the life insurance policy queen. Thank you. The supermarket, the life insurance policy is like the food inside the supermarket. We offer it for people like you. You guys take care and have a